Hi, everybody. Welcome to this first live stream from Airrosti for CrossFit. I'm joined today by Dr. Offenburger. My name is Jason. We're both with Airrosti. Today's topic is going to be Murph. For those who aren't familiar, Murph is a hero WOD, which is made by CrossFit to honor the men and women who have fallen in the line of duty. Lieutenant Michael Murphy. This was his favorite workout, and it's done every weekend on Memorial Day. As an honor to him. So before we get into it, Dr. O, any initial thoughts on this workout or any just initial thoughts in general?
I love this workout. I think it's overwhelming when you're new to CrossFit and you kind of see this, and it's one of those ones where the community gets together, and it's one of my favorite and like the one I hate the most as well too. I just hate running, so it's okay. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for everybody to do it this year. I'm looking forward to doing it with a weight vest, without a weight vest, whatever you're doing. Just get out there, support the community, have a good time. And we'll talk about how to stay safe. So just wish everybody good luck.
Awesome. So for the agenda for today's topic is we're going to just talk about the workout, what goes into it, and then we'll get into some tips and tricks for you all to incorporate either in the beginning of the workout or for recovery techniques. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to submit them in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them at the end. And if you're watching this on replay, feel free to leave us a comment or shoot us an email at cfaffiliates@airrosti.com. All right, so what is the Murph workout? For those who are not familiar, Murph is a 1 mile run. It's 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, followed by another 1 mile run. If you're doing an RX, that means you're doing it with a 20-pound weight vest. So quite the load for this, quite the work capacity, just a lot of volume. Dr. O, anything to add there?
It's a lot, right? I think that is like it's so much that, like I said, it's overwhelming for people, especially when you think about trying to do this with a weight vest on. So I guess we jumping into our tips right real quick, right? Number one tip.
Yep, let's get into it. So, what is the number one tip?
Yep, scale appropriately. I mean, I try to explain this that everybody starts CrossFit. Like the one thing you don't want to do in CrossFit is get injured to the point where you have to stop training. And it's just like a professional athlete, right? You're going to get better over time by just doing stuff and doing it with intent and doing it with the programming that's in CrossFit. If you get injured and have to stop training, it's like it's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back every single time, right? And so it's not worth it to overload, blow everything out, and go for broke on this workout. This is about really trying to see what you can do safely and for long periods of time, right? But if you get to a point where you really feel like it's overloading, stop. It's okay, right? Murph is about the tribute that you're paying, and then as well the community and supporting it and pushing yourself, but not to a point that's. I mean, I've seen people just go crazy on this and they get rhabdo and all this stuff, and you just really want to say like that's not a good strategy because you're gonna not have the ability to get better, right? I'm gonna eventually beat you just because if I stay healthy over time, generally that's what CrossFit does to you is just make you better incrementally.
Well said. This is a good one as well, just because you can test yourself every year. So if this is your first time doing it, start slow, scale appropriately, and then next year you can go a little bit further. And it's always something to compare yourself to in the future. So very well said. All right, tip number 2. What do we got?
Yeah, the biggest, I always say this, like you want to start thinking about Murph, not the day of, right? But beforehand as well, too, the few weeks beforehand, because you really want to start focusing on these areas that are going to get a lot of load. Maybe it's mobility work that you're going to be doing with these areas. Maybe it's some stability work or prepping for the strength component of it because you're going to try to push yourself a little bit on that day. Whatever it is, warm up and focus mentally on the areas that are going to blow out with the level of volume that you're going to be doing. So really be conscious and be mentally prepared for this as far as how much it's going to push you and tax you, even if you are scaling appropriately.
Absolutely. Just to further elaborate on this, do you anything off the top of your head that maybe someone should do maybe the day of? Maybe they haven't been doing these prerequisite things leading up to Murph. Maybe it's right before the event. Maybe they have 30 minutes beforehand before their heat time. What would you tell that athlete would be the best kind of use of their time?
Yeah, worst case scenario is what you're really asking, right? Like you showed up, you drank beer last night, and now you're going to go do Murph. And I've done that, right? And so I'm not going to try to judge anybody. What you really want to think about is the best way to prevent injury if it's short-term thinking, right, is if you can prep your nervous system. And what I mean by that is if you literally haven't done anything and you just go straight into to Murph and you go full speed, the likelihood of you breaking something or something overloading is quite high. But if you can kind of slowly prep your system, say you have 30 minutes, even just doing a few burpees every couple of minutes to get your nervous system warmed up and ready for this fight that you're about to kind of go through is the best use. There's really two places that everybody blows up on, or everybody that's normal, right? They blow up in their chest and their lats or the latissimus, right? And that's just due to the level of push-ups and pull-ups. And usually people are weak in one of those areas, right? They either not really strong in the pull-up category or they're not really strong in the push-up category. That's my weakness, right? I know that. My quads don't really have a problem, or my calves. I have pretty strong legs. They're quite well used to that much load. I can do pull-ups for days. I really like them. Push-ups just crush me, right? And I'm always a little bit worried because I too don't always focus on my weakness and fix them. So realize those are two of the main areas that people overload on. So you want to think about stretching those areas and checking your mobility, even if it's 30 minutes before. See if you can do some warm up sets just to get those muscles activated and neurologically prepared.
Perfect. That sounds great. All right, tip number 3, our last tip.
Yeah. This is a big one, and I'll tell everybody, it depends on where you live, but I live in Texas and it's hot every Memorial Day, right? You're going to sweat like crazy. So post-water recovery is a big deal. Drink as much water as you can and a lot of salts, right? Make sure to get your electrolyte balance back into proper make sure to just get it back to normal because you're going to lose a lot of electrolytes sweating and doing all these different things. I always recommend my athletes who are working out a lot, just thinking about this can make a huge difference in your recovery and overall just in the athletic performance that you have. So stretching post-WOD is a big deal. Make sure you're focusing on those areas that you just lit up, right? You're really just trying to kind of slowly cool them down, keeping the muscle fibers active so that they don't swell up too fast, too quick. And then you get a lot of post soreness. So the areas that I would really focus on, again, I would stretch my quads. This could be a Kelly Starrett couch stretch, wall stretch, however you want to think about it. You want to stretch or roll your latissimus. This can be on a foam roller. This can be just hanging from a pull-up bar, stretching an hour afterwards, making sure you're letting that muscle relax and decontract. And then your chest as well. Like think about that. You may just even want to give it a little bit of love. You can foam roll your chest, use a lacrosse ball, whatever you want to do. You're just trying to keep the muscle fibers active and moving so that they're pumping fluid in and out. And then I would also really, really encourage everybody to think about an electrolyte supplement. Element T is something that a lot of CrossFitters use. LMNT is what it is, and I'm not a sponsor, but I just love their stuff. So those are the really big keys for everybody. Don't take that lightly. If you get done and you just start chugging beers, you better be ready for a bad day the following, right? So nobody's going to probably listen to that. You're probably going to chug beers anyways. That's okay. So just realize though that there are things that you can do to make the next day feel a lot better and to make Murph enjoyable. Because for some people, this blows them out of the water and they're fearful of Murph, right? Enjoy this. Know this what it is. This is your journey towards well-being.
Yeah, again, well said. It's a great time just to get together with the community at your gym and work out together and for a great cause. So, well said. And I think that's everything that we had to cover today. Again, I don't see any questions coming through. If anyone has any questions, oh, here we go. We got a great question from fellow Rastafarian Omar. What's your opinion on ice baths after a day of hard training?
They're awesome. If you've never done them, I mean, there's lots of evidence, and there's naysayers to everything. They do help. They are nice. When you do them, it's more about like, again, it's your nervous system that you're really kind of hacking through there. But it really kind of brings your sympathetic system down. It brings you into a more relaxed state so that you can recover better, sleep better. There's a lot of evidence that ice baths help a lot.
Fantastic. I think that's all the questions we had. Again, in the bio of this video, you'll see our email address. If you have any questions, feel free to follow up. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this, and good luck this weekend.
Good luck, everyone. Hope you have a great time.
Bye, everybody.